It has come to this. The Imperial Japanese Navy faced the mightiest foe in the Pacific, and to ensure our expansion into Malaysia and the Dutch East Indies, we will deliver a preemptive strike immediately. Commander-in-Chief Yamamoto's plan to paralyze the US fleet at Pearl Harbor by sinking their warships is ready to put into action. The finest planes in the Imperial Navy are to take part, and the damage inflicted will be great. Glory awaits all who contribute to this daring attack.
In a war against the United States, Hawaii is the most important naval base the enemy has. It is America's Gibraltar. any ships heading to the Far East have to stop and refuel there. Hawaii is the key.
Enemy formation at anchor. 9 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser, 6 light cruisers.
The Americans don't have any vessel capable of sailing from San Francisco to Manila and back without refueling at Hawaii.
Wind direction from 80 grad, speed 14 knots, visibility over enemy fleet 1,700 meters, cloud density 7.
And as America deploys her fleet far out into the Pacific, we are certain to find it assembled at Pearl Harbor.
The enemy fleet is in Pearl Harbor. Tora, tora, tora! His name was Henry. This is not his story. Enemy battleship is on the move.
Make it advised to protect the territory and its inhabitants. I do declare and proclaim a defense period to exist throughout the territory of Hawaii.
It was a perfect surprise attack. American warships were quickly sent to the bottom. But although the strike was executed flawlessly, we didn't find any enemy carriers at Pearl Harbor, so we remain on alert. The carriers are out there and we can't let them interfere with our plans for expansion. A British task force is lurking close to Singapore, hunting our transport ships. However, they've made two mistakes. Firstly, they have no air cover to protect them. Secondly, they've ventured into range of the bombers based at our airfields, bombers that are even now being readied for.
All pilots, the enemy has no air cover. This will be a simple, glorious victory. Their attack is futile. Our dreadnoughts are indestructible. Your old ships are no match for the Imperial Japanese Navy. Let's see how quickly we can sink you. We cannot fail! The enemy is now sinking! Piece of Wales is destroyed, but where are those torpedoes? Come in, G3M! G3M, are you there? G3M, come in! G3M squadron reporting, sir. At last, where are you? G3M's inbound on course for torpedoing the English battleship, sir. I can see you! We've got company, some Australian fighters trying to get among us. Sir, we're in position to start the torpedo run. Good work. I thought you'd never make it. We didn't want to let ourselves down. Right. Sink those battleships. She's taking enough damage. She's sinking. Sir, we have sighted an enemy ship.
Admiral Yamato foresaw the future of ocean warfare. Gone are the days when dreadnoughts ruled the sea. The future of warfare at sea belongs to aircraft.
Just as at Pearl Harbor, Japan showed her aerial might. With the destruction of Fourth Day, Allied battleship power has ceased to exist in the Pacific. We'll be able to conquer more territories and at a faster rate. Greater East Asia will be united under the flag of the Japanese Empire. The acquisition of the Dutch East Indies is progressing rapidly. The American, British, Dutch, and Australian enemies have assembled a joint force under the flag of Audacom. One of our heavy cruisers is tasked with protecting our transport vessels heading for Java, and also helping destroy the Audacom fleet.
Java. Our Marines are loaded onto transports and eager for the forthcoming battle. Australian, British, Dutch, and American forces will try to attack them en route. But we'll shield them with our firepower. They won't get through.
set a trap here and we sailed into it. Casualties running high. We need assistance.
She's taking enough damage. She's taking...
The take of Kaigun's victory will go down in history. Glory to the Japanese Empire! Our ships are now sunk, damaged, or scattered. They won't come back in force from this. We've won a great victory here. Long live the Japanese Empire!
Is no longer a strong force to be reckoned with. The Allies have suffered a serious defeat. While we are sinking their ships, our marines have been heading for Java. We have also annexed the Philippine Islands. The war has not been going for long, but already we've made huge advances very quickly. After the US's Doolittle raid, they've split their carrier force. This could prove a costly mistake for them. We expect a decisive victory when we clash with the US forces. However, the enemy has damaged our light carrier Shoho. This vessel is required to provide air cover during forthcoming landings at Port Moresby, so it must be escorted to safety. Its survival is imperative.
Rear Admiral got out the screening vessels, while the Imperial Navy's main forces hunt the US carriers. Our task is to get through to Port Moresby. We're heading there in a matter of moments. The flight deck is still damaged, but we've repaired it enough for takeoffs and landings.
An enemy recon plane has spotted us, sir.
Things are about to get interesting.
Enemy air units are inbound.
Take that recon plane down!
Another hit, sir.
Sir, we've got enemy strike planes inbound.
No matter what, we must continue. Fire all we have at them.
Sir, according to recon information, our forces lost track of enemy submarines just a few dozen miles from here.
Tell them to keep looking. The submarines could be anywhere.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
You have gained a naval supply. Enemy ship has been sighted, sir.
Sir, we've identified an enemy radar station.
Knock it out.
One more kill for us. Target.
Fleetcog reports enemy carrier sunk. Our dive bombers destroyed the USS Lexington.
The battle is going our way. Perfect. Perhaps it's not too early to think about a quick, overwhelming victory and an end to this war. Excellent! We have entered the safe zone. All units, head for Port Moresby.
The Japanese fleet is advancing to capture Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. This move will separate the US and Australian forces, and the base will be a vital springboard for further expansion. in the region. The operation will also see the Allied outcomes fate. Amphibious forces will seize the island bases and pave the way for full-scale attacks later against Midway and Hawaii.
This is Task Force Leader Rear Admiral Kazioka Sadamichi. Commander, in this operation, you are in charge of our troop transports and their escort. Tsugaru and the main force is under my direct command. The small island's airfield remains a constant threat, but in the fight against the central base, we can very well turn it to our advantage. Commander, I entrust you to capture that airfield while our main force attacks the port. Operation is now underway. The Tsugaru and her screening ships must now leave us. Remember, the Japanese Empire expects nothing less than a glorious victory. First task, capture that radar station. We need to blind them.
Commander, enemy PT boats are heading towards the island.
Finished. Our capture of Port Moresby means that Australia can no longer collaborate with her allies without us being in a position to intervene. The whole area is under tight control as the Japanese surface fleet maneuvers into position, ready to take Midway. Deep under the surface are submarines hand, unseen. There is a pack of subs near Midway now, and although there are many supply ships to target, there are also a lot of enemy destroyers protecting them. The sub-pack, though, is looking for the USS Hornet. To think that would strike a major blow against the US.
Submarine captains, the battle ahead depends on us. We will make the difference. We will sow the seeds of success. Prepare yourselves. The Japanese have attacked a hospital ship. Unforgivable.
Success! The enemy is now sinking. She's taking enough damage. She's sinking.
We've lost the hospital ship.
The enemy is now sinking. Enemy carrier now in range, sir. You have gained a naval supply. Enemy planes are heading right towards us.
This is a trap, and we walked straight into it. Intel should have warned us. Damn it. Enemy carrier sighted. Heading east. Destroyers for escort. Contacting I-400 is still hindered by enemy recon. Destroy that plane. Yamato, this is I-156. We have located an enemy carrier in subsector 1782.
target for shellfire. Repeat. Enemy carrier in the subsector 178 to 203 degrees. Confirmed. Yamato is here. Your targets have been softened up for you. Yamato could win this single-handedly, but I want my submarines to share in this mighty victory too. We sent one American carrier to lie among the coral. It should help tip the advantage in our favor in future battles.
Hornet, the Americans have only got 2 operational carriers in the Pacific, so our combined fleet is moving towards Midway. For the very first time, the Army and Navy will cooperate in a landing on a fortified US island. The largest fleet ever assembled is approaching Midway now. Yamamoto, the father of the plan, is being hailed as a genius. When Midway is under Japanese control, the US won't be able to penetrate our defensive line, and the homeland will be secure. But more importantly, we'll inflict enormous damage on the US war effort. If we sink their carriers, it could even signal the end of the war in the Pacific, with Japan overwhelmingly victorious.
The plan Happo Yaburi has been brilliantly successful. Japan already owns the Pacific from China to the Solomons. And at Midway, we will push our boundaries a step farther. Imperial General Headquarters Naval Order Number 18 instructs us to carry out the occupation of Midway Island and key points in the Western Aleutians. We've assembled the largest and most powerful naval force to strike at those points. Commander, I can't stress enough how important our task is. The whole Imperial High Command has high hopes of a successful Midway landing. Strike with the power of surprise and disable all the airfields. Speed is your best ally.
You have gained a naval supply. A naval supply has been received.
Commander, it is critical to disable those airfields as soon as you can.
Sir, an enemy cruiser is stationed between the islands. It is Atlanta class with strong anti-air weapons.
Get rid of her. Use bombs, torpedoes, whatever you can just to destroy her.
Sir, our forces have disabled all the airfields.
Now is the time for the Marines and Army to start the amphibious assault.
One of our squadrons has been destroyed. Cover, under attack! Enemy aircraft carrier is going down, sir.
One by one, the American bases are falling under our relentless pressure. We are like time,
The plan was executed perfectly. Midway fell into our hands, and with it, we have expanded our defensive perimeter significantly. America has lost the ability to reach the Japanese inner territories. But still in the South Pacific, the Americans move their forces and plot a fight back. Guadalcanal is where we will break their will to go on the counter-offensive. Blow to the Americans, so they are responding by launching an assault on Guadalcanal. All they'll find there are impenetrable defenses and the determined troops of the Japanese Empire. Although the US forces are doomed to fail, all landing operations must be prevented. It's important that they don't even set foot on the island. Such a move would ensure our defenses don't come under attack and would send shockwaves through the US High Command.
Commander, we have to prepare ourselves. Organize land defenses and be sure to make good use of all the shipyard, airfield and land-based guns you have at your disposal.
Enemy fleet incoming, sir. Enemy units have been destroyed, sir.
The Americans should be thankful they died honorably on the battlefield by our hands.
That's a confirmed kill.
They were brave, but the Americans have been foiled again. We are much better able to fight this war than they are, so it's no surprise that we turned them back. However, Guadalcanal will only be ours if we find and eliminate the enemy fleet in the area. Instead, the Allies failed to land at Guadalcanal. However, they have kept a strong presence in the area. They are planning another attack of some sort. It's of the utmost importance that the Japanese Navy remain vigilant. Routine reconnaissance is needed. We must find out all we can about the enemy's strength and location.
Commander, you are ordered to patrol around Guadalcanal. The Americans desperately want this island. We've stopped them before, but they'll be back. No matter. If they return, they'll be destroyed.
Mayday! Mayday! We are hit! We are abandoning the ship!
That's the other patrol ship gone. It's up to us alone to retaliate.
Sir, enemy fleet incoming.
A trap! We've been lured in. How could we have been so foolish? We need reinforcements. Radio back to HQ.
Takao requesting backup. We've encountered an American strike fleet. This is an emergency. Level Bomber Squadron from Guadalcanal reporting in. We are awaiting your orders.
No answer, sir.
Send it again.
Takao is requesting backup. We've encountered an American strike fleet. This is an emergency. We hear you, Takao. Pull back. Our task force is on the way. Commander, we are here and ready to take the fight to the American fleet. It seems we are just in time to give the Americans another taste of defeat. One of our squadrons has
The fate of Guadalcanal has been sealed. The ambush that the enemy planned went disastrously wrong for them. We were simply stronger and better prepared. Nothing is as powerful and mighty as our battleship, and so the Americans were crushed. Our southern perimeter now completely isolates Australia. Our control of the sea is overwhelming and Australia is effectively neutralized as a force. To drive this home to them, a raid on a vessel in Sydney Harbour is planned. An invisible mini-submarine will be used and the selected target will be sunk right on their doorstep.
The Australians should never venture from the big, empty island. Tonight, we'll convince them not to do so. We're going to strike at vital supplies stationed right within Sydney. To find the correct target, it simply requires getting in the harbor and reconning all the unidentified ships. Your task is to get through the defenses, enter the harbor, and...
Australia has been dealt another blow. Our mini-submarine successfully infiltrated Sydney Harbour and destroyed vital supplies. We Japanese can strike anywhere, at any time, and the Allies now know this. The US only has one important bastion left in the middle of the Pacific, the Fijian Islands. Capturing them is our next goal. We expect the Americans to defend strongly. Without Fiji, they cannot strike back at us anywhere. Once Fiji is in Japanese hands, the Americans must fall back to Hawaii.
This is the last hurdle in the South Pacific. We are treating it as a live fire rehearsal for the Hawaii landings. The strike is just as important as the one at Pearl Harbor was. We will once again shock America and shatter their morale. America, your time in the Fijian Islands is at an end. They might not know exactly when we are coming, but they know we are, and they will be ready for us. Commander, synchronize air, sea, and land attacks.
Sir, the Americans have been alerted to our presence.
So, the element of surprise is gone. No matter, the battle begins. Prepare for incoming attacks.
Enemy fire! The naval supply! Naval supply has been received. It's ready to use.
Sir, the enemy has brought an escort carrier into the area.
Not the big fish we want to catch, but a target nonetheless.
Enemy planes are heading right towards us.
America has one foothold left in the Pacific, Hawaii. We have taken all their other bases, airfields, and islands. The unstoppable Japanese war machine must achieve complete domination over Greater East Asia soon. Change vital information, plans, and equipment with our German allies. The benefit to us will be great. New airplane blueprints, radar detectors, and an Enigma coding machine. The Japanese I-52 submarine will rendezvous with the German U-530 U-boat near the coast of East Africa. It's an extremely secret mission, and enemy activity has been reported in the area. Stealth is a priority. This rendezvous must take place successfully.
The Germans should be nearby. We have to get in touch with them. Time is running short, and we can't make it to the rendezvous point. But the weather is clear enough to launch a seaplane. From above, we can contact them. Head for the nav point and scout the surroundings. We must find them before the sun sets.
Hostile ship formation spotted, sir. Situated right between you and our nav point. Damn it! They always appear at the wrong time. Ignore their presence and continue with your mission.
Be quick! The Germans might leave soon. We have only a few minutes until the rendezvous time.
Successful landing, sir. We will have radio contact with them soon.
We can now hear you.
Finally, we have you back on the radio. Rendezvous has to be postponed. We detected a hostile ship formation between you and us. They are steaming towards your current position.
I hope you're loaded with torpedoes. We're all going to need them. You realize how precious our cargo is, don't you?
We are moving into attack position.
And we are doing the same.
We have to sink all of these ships.
Not a single one must escape. All the enemy ships are under the waves.
We cannot make the rendezvous without any more interference. Engines stopped. We are ready to begin cargo transfer. Here, Langa. Always a pleasure.
Hey, Capitan. Stop the boat and get ready for transfer.
I wonder if the enemy got in reinforcements.
We hit them fast, but it doesn't take long to make the call.
Sir, enemy ships spotted.
Adapt. Hatch is closed. Crash dive quickly. We'll meet at the secondary rendezvous point.
Cruise speed to rendezvous point B. We must repel the enemy.
Let's see who's hunting us.
The rendezvous was a success. Blueprints and war materials were exchanged. The advanced German technologies will help us to counter the industrial capacity of the Americans. We will need this advantage in the fight against the heavily fortified Hawaii. Our sights have turned on Pearl Harbor, the greatest prize of all. But before we attack it directly, we plan to launch amphibious strikes on the small bases and communication stations on the outlying islands around it. By doing this, we'll damage the USC's ability to identify the main attack and to communicate and coordinate a strong response. We expect resistance, even to these small arrays, to be strong, and we can only rely on the support of our naval air force. So tight, effective air support is the answer. With these strikes achieved, Hawaii will soon fall to the Japanese.
Today, we target the enemy's communications links. These small islands play a vital role in their information chain. Capturing them will allow us to recover enough data to crack their allied calls and radio messages.
Sir, she's taking enough damage. She's taking... Look, enemy planes! They're big! They're large paratroop carriers! Enemy... A clear visual of the target. We are commencing the run. Aim your fish well, guys. Sir, we have sighted an enemy ship. Enemy planes are heading right towards us.
What was that?
We've been hit, sir. Our deck is shattered. Damage is severe. Only a dry dock could fix this.
Where did the American attack come from? All airborne units, stop the Americans! Proceed, but be aware that you don't have any backup. There is only one effective way to stop these transports. Pilots, you know what to do.
Our supply base is under attack. Enemy air units are inbound. Our supply base is under attack.
The aircraft carriers. We must mount an attack.
Say again, Koga! How will it be possible to take on those ships with a lone squad?
We can achieve anything with skill and determination. Sir, we have an ammunition ship in the vicinity of the enemy carriers.
Get someone to blow that ship up!
Sir, we have very few planes in the area.
I know, but it's our only hope. Pilots, do what you can to sink those carriers. Earn the eternal gratitude of the Japanese Empire.
Glory to the Empire! We pledge our lives to the destruction of its enemies! Planes are in the critical! No! One of...
Through sacrifice, the Japanese have taken the islands surrounding Hawaii. Bases have been established to block enemy attempts to provide supplies to Hawaii. The success of this strategy will be proven in the forthcoming battle, the most important of the war, the amphibious assault on Pearl Harbor. American giant to its knees. Step by step, we have pushed the US forces back across the Pacific to just one location. Pearl Harbor is where this started and where it will end. We expect the Americans to throw everything they can at us. This is their last stand, but the Imperial Japanese Navy has faced them before and won. So we will take Hawaii at any cost and we will keep it. It is expected that every member of the Japanese military will fight harder than they have ever fought before. We can bring this war across the world's biggest ocean to an end in one battle. It will be a great and glorious victory for Japan.
The Great East Asia War is coming to an end. Our empire stretches far across the Pacific. However, Pearl Harbor is not how we found it before. The Americans know we are coming. They'll have dug themselves in deep. This is their last stand. But despite their defiance, Toho Saksen will prevail. The rising sun will fly proudly above Hawaii soon.
Sir, we are closing in on the shore.
Any sign of the enemy?
You have gained a naval supply. A naval supply has been received.
They've formed a blockade, sir. Several ships at the entrance.
It is a hopeless action on their part. However, should the Iowa join them, it will make things harder. Destroy the blockade before the Iowa gets there.
Enemy cover under attack! Enemy squadron. It's going down. You have gained a naval supply. A naval supply has been received. It's ready to use. Enemy fire. We need pumps. We've been hauled below the waterline. We hit it. We destroyed the whole squadron. Sir, we are under attack. Enemy plane destroyed. We blown them from the sky, sir. We are coming under enemy fire. Enemy vessel, now sinking. Enemy ship confirmed sunk. Enemy squadron has been destroyed, sir. Enemy fire! They are responding now, sir. Success! The enemy is now sinking.
Hawaii is ours. Once an American state, now part of the mighty Japanese Empire. President Roosevelt is sure to open negotiations with us. We have struck a mighty blow for Japan. And I'm proud to be part of it.
Glorious. The final, decisive battle has been fought. The remnants of the American fleet were no match for us. Hawaii now belongs to her rightful owner, the Japanese Empire, and those living under enemy rule have been freed and reunited with their brothers. The vision of a greater East Asia under Japanese rule has become reality.